Hello, this is Dr. Jester speaking. How are you? Is your cult leader? I amuse myself sometimes. Here's another episode of Stupid. This time I'm dealing with vegans again. They seem to be on the same level as flat earthers. You know, people who believe the earth is still flat. Way to go, people. You people are stupid. Vegans seems to subscribe to numerous conspiracy theories, pseudoscience. They seem to be everywhere in this. And I've even had confrontations with a vegan who actually believes that fluoridated water causes cancer or makes you vulnerable to government control. Yes, that crazy. Even if you need nearly fluoridation policy on water, you'll need 45,000 liters of water in a period of 2 years, drinking it every day, for you to start feeling the effects of fluoridation, or feeling the toxic effects of fluoride. But no, vegans seem to lack even the basic sense of science, stuff that they taught us, or, I don't know, even before high school. Basic things like the stages of a fly. They really can't comprehend it. They don't know the difference between a cell or a bacteria and a vitamin or a molecule of vitamin. They don't seem to understand the basics of science. Maybe that's why they're vegans. Maybe that's why they actually believe our bodies are not adapted to consume meat, or they believe that our digestive system is very large. Maybe that's why. I really can't answer, but it does give us a basic understanding of why they're like this. So, without ado, let's start. First and foremost, this is B12. What is a B12? A molecule with a combination of various atoms joining and forming this. Obviously, you need cobalt on the ground soil, so it helps the cattle or the livestock to eat the cobalt on the grass, the bacteria in it, so they can process inside their digestive system, and then give you B12 on their meat, or them themselves consuming B12 like this. The key difference is that when they are young, they start consuming the grass, and that grass carries the bacteria strong enough to process that cobalt and generate B12 for the cattle. And they have that special stomach designed to store that bacteria. That's why they are ruminants. Then themselves, during nighttime, they usually chew the cellulose again, or in other words, they puke inside their mouths and start chewing again. That's how hard it is to process cellulose. This is why we are not herbivores. So, here it is. That's vitamin B12. And here, it's a bacteria. That's a bacillus. That means a rod. And not cockles, which is a little ball. See the difference between B12 and a bacteria? Can you spot the difference? One is composed of multiple molecules. The other one is a molecule. Well, now that you know the difference between B12 and bacteria, we must move on. So, here we have the other idiot. The other two idiots, actually. I completely forgot that these are the two idiots. Sorry I had to censor this, but unfortunately, we need to protect their privacy, even if they are stupid and too retarded to tie their own shoes. That says vitamin B12 is a microbe, and then he changes to a bacteria. It is produced by microorganisms. Then he changes again to a micro. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Then we have the other special kind of stupid, and this one, as you can see, B12 is not made by animals, it's a bacteria found in the soil. That's retarded. That's epically retarded. There's no way I can't really put into words how retarded this is. And there's a shit on of vegans who actually believe this. I tracked down to one questionable website, but I'm not so sure it actually comes from that website. The idiot on your left said, quoted. So I'm not so sure, that's why I'm not sharing. But the website is made by, wait for it, someone who actually reads iris. Yes, they actually read your eyes and tells you what ails you. Kind of like a palm reader. Exactly. That kind of stupid. What can we do? They suffer from extra chromosomes! God, you vegans are so stupid! I wanna cry. And we have here another example of stupid. This one is actually a leader of a very, very large Facebook page about veganism. I forgot which name, but I had the misfortune of running across her to a vegan friends wall. Don't worry, they already blocked me. And you can see the type of stupidity they believe, and they spread to the stupid vegans who actually believe in this stuff. That's why veganism is a cult. B12 is a bacteria found in soil. See? That's what they said. That's completely idiotic. That is wrong. B12 is not a bacteria. It's a molecule, not a bacteria. Oh, for the love of God. And then they continue with their stupidity with, read this. Due to agriculture methods such as pesticide spraying and washing of veggies, etc., B12 levels are depleted. This is why everyone supplements B12, which is, by the way, the animals you choose to eat are also supplemented by B12, either by injections or within their feed. One part in her that she says this, it's true. Some are supplemented with B12, especially on those soils that lacks cobalt, as I explained in the beginning of this video. In this case, it's not all animals, only on those soils with problems. And then she seems to allude to or suggests that you get that B12 by not washing your veggies. That's another astronomically stupid advice. Always wash your vegetables. Always. Because the amount of dust or pathogens on the veggie itself is mind-boggling, and you will get sick. You could get salmonella due to the shit they use as manure. I don't know, you could get E. coli, which is something very common on organics. Well, that's why there are so many recalls of organic. You could get really sick by not washing your vegetables. Please, people, please wash your veggies. Don't do something stupid. And then, obviously, she quotes a really quacky website. Moving on, you retard. I wonder maybe that's why she doesn't shower. She advocates to vegetables not washing, thus therefore, in conclusion, she doesn't shower herself because she's a vegetable. And here we have another vegan idiot. This one is a special kind of stupid too. It seems that there's a competition between vegans and stupidity. And this is one example. Until you realize that NASA may have, you illiterate moron, lied about the moon landing. You won't suspect any space deception. What makes you so sure the world is either flat or round? This one is special kind of stupid, even more stupid than the usual flat earther, because he's a vegan and a flat earther. How these people can get up from their beds in the morning? It just makes no sense. He believes that there's a conspiracy on the moon too, that we never went to the moon. Why are these people so stupid? Is this because of hippie inbreeding? That's the only answer. I don't really understand what peer review means. If anyone can explain it to me, I won't embarrass myself further. See? And then they claim to know science. Some scientists say it's pear-shaped. Have you heard that theory? How can we truly know for sure? Lunar eclipse is probably the biggest clue, but there could be some reason for that. It's not pear-shaped. Pear-shaped, it's what Muslims say the earth is. After trying to creatively misinterpret a Quranic verse that's pretty direct, that says the earth is flat. But it's not pear-shaped, it's oblate sphere. I don't know how to tell to someone that the earth is round. It's an oblate spheroid. Yet, here we are. Have you tried going up on a plane? You can actually see the curvature of the earth. Or going up on a mountain, for example. You can actually start seeing it at a distance. Especially if there's the mountain is close to some flat land or something. You can actually start seeing the curvature, but the mountain has to be high, of course. How you mean these people? How can they tie their shoes in the morning? Sir, do you realize how fast you were just potatoing? Exactly. He doesn't realize how fast he was potatoing. Stop potatoing, you fucking vegetables. Now we come to the fruit fly. That's the amount of stupid. How's the fruit fly life cycle? First there's an egg. Then there's a hatching that occurs, and it pops out like a little fart or little shit coming out of your ass after a very hot and delicious night of chili con carne. Or, if you prefer, toothpaste. They pop out. And then you get, obviously, the larva. The second larva. The second stage, which looks like a tiny little pinky finger. And then you get the fat larva. And then you get the pupa, which they actually start preparing to become a fruit fly. And then they metamorphizes, kind of like a butterfly or a moth, and becomes the fruit fly. That's how you get fruit flies on your veggies. For example, they may lay eggs on the supermarket, or when they're still attached to the plants, and the farmer goes there, collects, let's suppose, the apple. Collects the apple, brings to the supermarket, and you bring it to your home, and then after a couple of days you realize there's a lot of fruit flies. And what happens is that the fruit flies on the field or inside the supermarket goes there and lay their eggs, And then they start slowly hatching, because how tiny they are, you barely can see it. And sometimes they actually don't come out when you wash the veggies. So, they start pupating and they start creating, and then suddenly you have an infestation of fruit flies in your kitchen. That's how you get it. It's actually natural, and you will get it no matter what. Unless there's a special method of growing certain vegetables, like I forgot the name. But usually in a closed environment and controlled situation, usually with leaves, you won't get it, and go, etc. But that's how you get fruit flies in your home if you don't have fruit flies already to lay eggs on your veggies. That's how you get it the first time. So here we are, another special kind of retard. Look.
Exactly. To slow down rotting. That the operative word. The difference between meat rotting and dread rotting is that meat can grow maggots, and out and vent grow fruit flies at the worst.
Are you realizing the type of retard we are dealing with here? She actually believes that meat can get maggots. But that's correct. If you leave the meat exposed in the open environment, etc., a fly will come in and lay their eggs, and they will start eating. It's completely usual and normal. It's how rotting occurs in nature, and there's nothing to go on in that. And then she actually believes that vegetables does not get maggots. I have a very tiny suspicion that she actually believes that vegetables don't get infested with maggots, or that fly. Well, then again, it's a vegan. Why try to rationalize it? I'm not talking about the fly. Flies are big, fruit flies are tiny. The maggots, nonetheless. This is not true. I've had fruit flies in my house, and then the elevator turned into a maggot or a fly. So take another class. You retard. It's epic. You're hilarious. You are hilarious, you illiterate fuck. Fruit flies, smaller than female mosquitoes, do not grow into maggots. It's not even important. You can go play somewhere else. My fruit flies are never going to turn into a maggot. How? Does she get up in the morning? Does someone tell her how to get up? How to move an arm to open the door handle? How? You are a liar, and God will punish you. And she's actually a bit religious too. I never have watched animal porn. I don't know, porn for vegans are actually snuff films that they actually stage or try to manufacture of animal in torture. It usually comes from third world countries, and they, oh look, that's how meat industry works. And if my fruit had ever been a maggot, huh? Oh, she missed the fly. My fruit fly had ever been a maggot, I would have noticed. So maybe your house is full of maggots, but mine never has been. You know nothing about the bubble. God does not condone porn watching. So you should stop watching it and ask for forgiveness. Maybe that's why they also subscribe to religion. Holy fuck, these people are insane. I don't think it needs to say anymore. Nothing needs to be said. That picture says everything. Here comes another type of stupid. And this one actually has a college diploma, a degree in environmental science. So here it is. I'm going to explain somatic cells and gamete cells. There are only two types of cells if you're not counting stem cells. Somatic cells are basically everything in our body, which is blood cells, the skin, the eyeballs, everything from the skin, the neurons, the skin, everything. And gamete cell, and this is important, I almost forgot. They separate in mitosis. That means there's a little cell here, and then suddenly they divide, and there's two cells. It's like a clone. And the productive cells are the gametes, which is the oocytes, means the eggs for the ovaries, and the sperm for the males, and they do it on meiosis. They are haploid. That means they only have half of your DNA, and that means that they need to and then it grows. Get it? That's how it is. Let's go directly to the stupid. Mastitis, inflammation of the udder, is a major issue in dairy farming. It results in some of the dead cells products of inflammation, white blood cells. These are called somatic cells, but essentially means pus. No. Being excreted with milk. That's not. Mastitis everyone gets mastitis in some sort of way if you're a mammalian, but a cow, or a dairy cow, which is not made for meat, develops this is because the farmer either got irresponsible and forgot to milk it. That's usually because the tits got so massive with milk, they start to get inflammation. But there is actually laws and regulations that if there is an excessive amount of pus, which is the debris of your body fighting the infection, for example, parts of bacteria, viruses, or parts of the white blood cells, etc. The phagocytes, they break down, fighting or die, and there's probably toxins mixed in as well, toxins created by the bacteria to try and fight the phagocytes and etc. That's what pus is. That's why it smells sometimes, and especially if you get it on your skin. If I'm not wrong, well, forgot about the smells when I had my degree. It should be usually a Pseudomonas aeruginosus that gets that weird smell that looks like food odor. That's why pus sometimes smells, because of that, and why it's legal to contain the milk. Up to a certain quantity, it's okay. But somatic cells does not mean pus, because somatic cells means our entire body. The entire cells in all the cells in our entire body is the somatic cells, and gametes are the reproductive cells. Somatic cells, more commonly known as pus cells, are cotton and mixed sold for human consumption, as there are legal limits as to how much it can contain. That so far is correct. Somatic cells are, but not the pus cells bit. Somatic cells are white blood cells that are the defense against bacteria that invades the udder and can cause mastitis. That's the problem with pseudoscience. The name itself says pseudoscience. It's something that passes as science, but it is not. It uses parts of science, actual provable science, and then mixes in with make-believe or myth, and try to sell it to you as something that is provable and correct. That's how pseudoscience works. It takes, for example, somatic cells are white blood cells that are the defense against bacteria to invade the odor and causes mastitis. That's correct. And there's probably a semantic here and there in trying to say that somatic cells are etc. But in overall it's correct. But they then try to weasel in certain words. For example, up top it says it means pus. That's incorrect. But because the premise of somatic cells are white blood cells that are defense against bacteria and invade the odor and can cause mastitis is said, people will believe that it means pus as well. Because pus is the weasel word, or the weasel pseudo, or the myth trying to get in to get part of an argument someone is trying to make to prove their point. That's how pseudoscience is. It's part science and part myth. It's kind of like skim milk. Skim milk. It's not milk. There's some milk in there, but still not milk. Cow's milk can legally contain up to 400 million pus cells per liter. So 1 teaspoonful of milk can legally contain 2 million pus cells. See? That's the weaseling of the argument. It weaseled an entire sentence in that. If you don't know the definition of the words, or if you don't remember much on your days of school, or never paid attention, that's how they get you. That's how pseudoscience myth spreads. And, for example, if you, let's suppose an analogy. If you don't remember the taste of milk, and suddenly you take skim milk, you think that's actually milk. Oh my god, that's milk. But it is not. It just contains part milk and the rest is water. That's pretty much, and take out the fat and juicy stuff to the skim milk, but it's an analogy. Moving on. So the person will actually think and defend that that's milk, but when you give him or her that whole milk, they'll reject it and say that's wrong. See, that's how pseudoscience works. And this is obviously there. Somatic cells are not pus cells. As you can see, somatic are white blood cells. Not really. I think, as I said before, due to the semantics, I think would be better to say white blood cells are somatic cells that are the defense against bacteria that invade the odor and can cause mastitis. That's how I would phrase that sentence. It's technically incorrect, but given that she's a vegan, I'll give it a pass. But it's cringy.
I'm pretty sure you're retarded, but hang on, let me call Buddy. My buddy, who is a retard expert.
Yes, Rick, he's a retard. I agree, a goddamn retard.
And this concludes the crazy. Remember, kids, never ever go full retard. Ever. Especially if you are going to subscribe to us. No, actually don't. Never go full retard. Going full retard means you're going full pseudoscience. Just don't. Don't do it. I don't know, I'm speechless. The amount of stupid here is mind-boggling. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it here because I'm speechless. Alright, everyone, I'm staying right here because definitely I can't do anything more. I don't even know how they can get up from the bed in the morning or tie their shoelaces. So, don't forget to dislike this video because why not, you hate me anyway. And don't forget, because I have a code to tell me to go fuck myself because that's the norm. Oh dear me, why did I get this code? And this video editing will stretch to a much longer period of time because there's a lot of parts where I have to cut with me blowing my nose. Toodles, don't forget to go tell me to screw myself, toppled with, go fuck myself, because why not? Bye!